From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. It's Friday, October 31st. Here's what we're covering on today's episode. New Mexico will spend up to $30 million in emergency state funds to help keep food assistance flowing to about 460,000 residents after federal SNAP benefits were halted by the ongoing U.S. government shutdown. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham signed 40 executive orders to free up the money, which will cover roughly 10 days of benefits while federal funding is frozen. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said it won't reimburse states that are stepping in, but New Mexico's congressional Democrats, including Representative Teresa Ledger Fernandez, are saying they will fight that stance. Lujan Grisham warned she may have to call a special legislative session if the shutdown drags on beyond mid-November. New Mexico joins Louisiana, Vermont, Oregon, and California, which are also using state funds or emergency measures to sustain food aid or support local food banks. While both parties in New Mexico back the temporary fix, they blamed each other for the shutdown itself. Republicans called the state's move necessary, but criticized Democrats in Washington for the impasse. Meanwhile, Democrats countered that GOP leaders have refused to negotiate. Nurses and other staff at the University of New Mexico Hospital rallied on Thursday, demanding wage increases they say they were denied this year, despite heavier workloads and rising patient volumes. Members of District 1199 NM, which is the union representing UNMH employees, said the hospital claimed it lacked the funds for the raises, even as CEO Kate Becker is set to receive a pay increase under her current contract. Hospital officials said UNMH has faced financial setbacks from ongoing federal funding issues, higher supply costs, and surging patient demand, but noted that 5 wage increases were implemented over the past 5 years. UNMH is the state's only Level 1 trauma center and regularly operates at 105 to 120% capacity, with staff shortages straining patient care. New Mexico is currently facing a 30% nursing deficit, and union leaders say low pay worsens the problem. Staff and supporters, including State Representative Patricia Roybal Caballero, argue that fair wages and regular raises would help recruit and retain local workers instead of relying on costly travel nurses. Union officials plan to resume negotiations with the hospital on November 18th, vowing not to back down until pay concerns are addressed. State Representative Mariana Anaya, a Democrat from Albuquerque, has launched a new website, augustnm.com, that allows users to anonymously report U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement or ICE activity on an interactive map. Anaya said the goal is to document and verify potential ICE operations that can be difficult to track. That's due to the fact that agents often work in plain clothes and unmarked vehicles. Reports can include descriptions, photos, and videos, though all entities are marked as, quote, unverified until confirmed by one of her office's community partners. The site, created amid what Anaya called, quote, unprecedented deportation efforts under the Trump administration, is intended to help immigrants and mixed-status families document encounters without interfering in ongoing law enforcement operations. She said, quote, this is a documentation tool for things that have happened in the past. But House Republican leader Gail Armstrong of Magdalena sharply criticized the project, saying it, quote, endangers officers, compromises investigations, and could obstruct federal law. As of Thursday evening, 5 reports have been submitted to the site, with 3 being in Albuquerque, 1 in Socorro, and 1 in Las Cruces, none of which have yet been verified. The New Mexico Foundation for Open Government, or FOG, has filed a lawsuit accusing the Department of Public Safety, or DPS, of repeatedly violating the state's Inspection of Public Records Act, or IPRA, a 1978 law guaranteeing public access to government records within 15 days. Filed Tuesday in Santa Fe District Court, the suit alleges that the Department of Public Safety has shown a, quote, pattern and practice of abusing an exemption that allows deadline extensions for overly broad or burdensome requests. FOG also says that DPS routinely ignores a 2020 New Mexico Supreme Court ruling that prohibits agencies from citing, quote, ongoing or, quote, active investigations as grounds to deny access to records. FOG cited examples involving delayed or denied requests about an alleged assault at the Children's, Youth, and Families Department office and the overdose death of Rio Arriba County Sheriff Billy Merrifield. FOG legal director Amanda Levin says the department has, quote, been repetitive and persistent in violating IPRA deadlines despite prior lawsuits and court rulings. DPS spokesperson John Heald says the agency couldn't comment on pending litigation, but noted records requests have climbed from 12,206 in 2023 to nearly 14,000 in 2025 and are handled by a 10-person IPRA team. Fogg is seeking a court injunction to compel the department to comply with the state's transparency laws. And Albuquerque Public Schools tested a new weapons detection system this week at Albuquerque High School, following several instances involving firearms on campuses this year. The metal detection device, created by Sierra Weapons, was demonstrated Tuesday as part of the district's effort to explore new safety technologies. APS spokesperson Martin Salazar said a, quote, diverse group of stakeholders attended the demonstration and found it helpful as the district considers next steps. The test follows an alarming day in August when 5 guns were recovered, 2 at Albuquerque High, 2 at West Mesa, and 1 near Del Norte High School, marking the most weapons found in a single day in the district's history. APS police have also confiscated 2 knives and 2 razor blades this school year. The Sierra system, which APS does not yet own, can detect firearms and knives, Salazar confirmed. The district says it remains committed to student safety and will continue evaluating technologies that, quote, strengthen that commitment. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you here daily, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and allows us to provide you with the news that matters to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast. Today you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high near 72, and as for this evening, mostly clear with a low around 37. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez, wishing you all a safe and happy Halloween. We'll be back on Monday.